what I want to say is what made me the person I am and that you described, thank you so much, is love. I love people. I love everybody in this room, from the little kiddies whom I adore, to my very dearest family and now the new friends that I met recently. And loving people makes good for you and helps you, as you all know, I'm sure. I love you dearly, and I hope we can meet many, many more years after this. And when you're 90, I'll be there too.
Well, the interesting part was that when I came here at the age of 15, Bernie and I were on the ship arriving at the port on the west side on the Hudson River, and we landed early in the morning, and people started to be called because they had relatives, family waiting for them. Bernie and I were not called. We were the last ones to leave the ship. It was terrifying. Everybody went off. The names were called out over the loudspeaker, and our name wasn't called. Now, we were supposed to have been met by a friend of mine's mother and his friend's father and a relative of my father's. And those two parties were supposed to meet us at the ship. Well, we did not get called. Finally, I was kind of a little bit hysterical, I think. I went up to one of the stewards and I said, "What happened? My brother and I have not been called." He said, "Don't worry, this happens a lot. People sometimes arrive late or they don't go to the right place to announce you." This is what happened. They didn't go to the right place. And eventually they did call us. This is a letter I received from the Jewish Foster Home Bureau, which is now called Jewish Child Care Association, JCCA. And this is what happened. A cousin of mine got this letter, brought it to me, and I was very moved by it, so I thought I would share it with you. Herta is a very sweet, lovable child. She looks attractive and has a charming way of speaking. She speaks English quite nicely, having had a private teacher for the last 7 months. I must emphasize that the private teacher was a customer of ours in the dairy, in the supermarket that we had, and therefore my mother had to deal with her. She would teach me English and get groceries in my place. She impressed Worker as being, meaning me, she impressed Worker as being an intelligent, bright girl, very sensitive, emotionally balanced, mentally mature. She will doubtless be able to make a quick adjustment. She said of your brother, "Bernard is a pleasant chap." This is now the social worker said of my brother. "Bernard is a pleasant chap. He too looks nice and is very well behaved. He too is a very sensitive and bright child." Something very funny happened at that time. She went around to different agencies to find out where would be the best place for us to be placed. Bernie, my brother, was already kosher and wanted to be only in a kosher home. I, on the other hand, didn't care where we went as long as we were together. I mean, he was 13, I was 15, and so I said to the social worker who later took over from my cousin, my father's cousin, that I don't want to be any place unless Bernie can be there too. I mean, I'll go to a kosher home, I have no problem with that, but he wouldn't go to a non-kosher home. Well, they did find a place finally in the Bronx, but he was all ready to give me up, so to speak, and go to a kosher home, and we would still see each other. And there's one thing that I remember, because I don't remember, but I got I have a whole paper on this whole situation, where I said, after all, if I'm not with my brother, who's going to take care of him? Who's going to darn his socks? That was my worry. that, you know, at that time, because that's the kind of things we used to do. I have to be with him. And that's how we ended up in the Bronx, where I later met my husband, Morty. And we lived with a family for almost 3 years. When just short of my 18th birthday, I left them. Mention is made that around this time you were going out with 2 boys only, as you said. The social worker called you gay and outgoing, socially most desirable. Both had proposed, but you found Morty more interesting.
Wait, you had another man
Another
propose
boy,
to you?
Frankie.
Who proposed?
Who proposed and gave me a
which
watch.
Frank? What was his name?
I don't know, but they were
Frankie or-
Hungarian.
You said Frank?
He was
Frankie?
a little guy. No,
Yeah.
I knew his name, but I forgot it. He was a little guy. He was a Mickey Rooney type. He was very cute and always jumping around and laughing and carrying on. And yeah, I liked him very much. And then I met Morty.
Huh.
And when I met Morty, I also felt that I didn't really want to tell Frankie too much, just in case.
Keep your options open.
But eventually, when Frankie's mother found out that he had given me a watch for my 16th birthday, she insisted he get that watch back since I was now seeing another boy. So he came to me and he says, this was an engagement watch. This was not just a sweet 16th birthday watch. So I said, I didn't know we were engaged. He said, yes, it's either a ring or a watch. Either goes. so he kept insisting, and his mother kept pushing him.
What
And
kind of a watch was it?
it was a Miss Boulevard. It was a very nice watch in those days. That was a very fine watch. And of course I returned because I didn't want to be harassed anymore. And I hurt him very much too. So I think he deserved getting that watch back. And the one thing that I found that I wanted to do more than anything when I came here was to assimilate, to be part of the young people here. I learned the Lindy Hop very quickly. We used to dance in the street. We used to have a little radio set up and we would dance sometimes on the sidewalk. It was a nice neighborhood in the East Bronx. And you know that neighborhood because that's where we took our pictures the last time of the film that we took.
Of all the boys I've known, and I've known some, until I first met you I was lonesome. And when you came in sight, dear, my heart grew light, and this old world seemed new to me. You're really swell, I have to admit you deserve expressions that really fit you. And so I've racked my brain hoping to explain all the things that you do to me. By me, Mr. Shane, please let me explain. By me, Mr. Shane means you're great. By me, Mr. Shane, again I'll explain. It means you're the fairest in the land. I could say Bella, Bella, even say wunderbar. Each language only helps me tell you how grand you are. I've tried to explain by mere Mr. Shane. So kiss me and say you understand. By mere Mr. Shane, you've heard it all before, but let me try to explain. By mere Mr. Shane means that you're grand.
The only bad thing, a really bad thing that happened to me is when I was in high school. I was 14 years old. I had a very good friend who was not Jewish. And anti-Semitism was all around us. We could always feel it. We knew it was there. But my so-called friends in my class said to me one day, and to her, we were together, she and I, and they said, you know, we've been watching you and you're still together and you know that you're not supposed to be together. And they said to her name was Anne. They said, Anne, you better cut out visiting Herta. You cannot do that anymore. And we said, what do you mean? You can't tell us what to do. I mean, we were all friends at one time. And they said, well, you better watch out because if you don't listen to what we are saying, they were harassing us. You'll be sorry. You're not. So this was very painful. I had to separate from my best friend and could do nothing about it. But I don't remember ever suffering so hard that I couldn't, you know, go on. And somehow I got over that too.
Talk to somebody about it?
Not really. Only to each other, to my parents. Of course I would talk to them about it. They had no right to do that. What finally did happen is shortly after that, I was taken out of that school and we went to a Jewish school. It was right after this, maybe a month or two after Hitler took over Austria. And she and I just lost contact. She was afraid and I was afraid. I remember what we liked to do is when we got home from school, she would come to our apartment and then she and I would look out the window and look at all the people in the street and make fun of them. I had very little contact compared to other children with parents. They were always working, they were always in the store. My mother and I never, once we sat down for 6 weeks when I had scarlet fever. I was 10 years old. She and I were like cloistered in a house in the apartment because she couldn't go out except at night. It was such a stupid law anyway, because of the contagion. So she and I really, we bonded and we talked to each other and we danced. I remember we turned on the radio and she and I would dance when I was starting to get better. But I didn't have that close relationship with them that I had with my grandmother. She was just the love of my life. It was wonderful. That's as much as I know, but that didn't last too long either. I mean, it was from when I was maybe, when I can remember, 5, 6 years old, and then she left Vienna before we did. Everybody, the whole family tried to get her out. So they smuggled her into Czechoslovakia first, and then she was going to Paris. Annette's mother lived in Paris. That's her youngest daughter. And she eventually died in France. I didn't see her much after she had left. It was very scary to live there. There's no question about it. Sometimes you'd hear a scream in the street and you didn't know whether it was some Jew being killed or beat up or something. There was always that fear. And for years after, since Hitler marched in March of 1938 into Vienna, the month of March to me is still very painful because I keep thinking of that time when I woke up one morning. I was 13 at the time. I woke up and I looked out my window from my bed and the whole street was full of swastika flags on every building. And it came like totally unexpected. It came overnight, it seemed, but it wasn't overnight. They had planned this a long time before. We just didn't know. My parents, I think, were not as worried about leaving as a lot of other people were, and they should have left before. Then it might have been okay. They might have lived and they might have come to America with us. But they didn't, and my father always says, this can't last. This is going to go over. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
Because he was like you. He was
Yes,
an optimist,
an
maybe.
optimist, maybe. I'm going to read now the letter my mother wrote, and it's the end. At the very end of your record, there is a copy of a letter dated from October 25th, 1939. That was right after we came here. From the National Refugee Service to Mary Boretz of the Foster Home Bureau. The NRS has received the letter from the mother of the Roth children, which they had translated from the German and were passing along. My dear, this is the letter. My dear Mrs. Rozovsky, received your letter and thank you most heartily for it. I heard from my children direct already how wonderful the committee and the ladies have taken care of them. I really do not know how to thank you for all that. Only a mother will understand what it means to be separated from one's most precious possession, and for such an indefinite time. Will you kindly forgive me if I ask you to continue to care for my children, because though I am convinced that they were placed in a good foster home, I'm always a bit worried about my daughter's upbringing, considering her age and the fact that she lives in such a large city. I should consider myself the most fortunate mother when in times like these I had the feeling that they were well looked out for and our separation would terminate soon. May God repay our benefactors and sponsors 1,000-fold what they are doing for us. Thank you again, and wishing you a very happy New Year. I am most grateful. And she signed it Gusti Roth, 6. 10, number 7, Vienna. I'm sorry. Isn't it amazing to see a great-grandmother sitting here crying like a child? Because we are always children, in a way. Once I did get a letter from my mother saying, we are now on a ranch. That was no ranch, that was a camp. And Dad is in the fields working, and I'm in the kitchen with the women cooking. Now, what truth there was to it or what not, because everything was censored, everything was looked at as we sent it, and shortly after that I heard nothing. I don't even know what to call it. I can be sad one moment, and it's not that I don't care, I do care, but then I come up and maybe a friend will call me up and I'll talk to her and we would even laugh or make jokes. And the pain is still there, it's there, but I'm able to go on with my life. And I hope you guys all will do someday if you ever need to. It's very important to survive. That's, I guess, why we're called survivors. And I was also lucky. I never went to a camp. I mean, it's incredible what happened to so many people. And I came and there was always somebody good. There was a good person and Grandpa's mother, the grandma. She took us in, she took care of us, she helped us with some money when we needed it. And I moved into a family that accepted me. So I think I was very lucky. I'm very lucky. And I have you, I have all of you. And really, it means so much.
It ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. It don't matter anyhow. And it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, if you don't know by now. When the rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling on. Don't think twice, it's alright. It ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. The light I never know. It ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. I'm on the dark side of the road. Still I wish there was something you would do or say to try and make me change my mind and stay. We never did too much talking anyway, so don't think twice, it's alright.
Okay, can you sing a song, Grandma?
Ja. Herzchen klein ging allein in die weite Welt hinein. Stock und Hut steht ihm gut, ist olle Mut. Doch die Mutter weinet sehr, hat ja nun kein Händchen mehr. Hänschen klein ging allein in die weite Welt hinein. Bumm. Are you hungry?
Starving. We're gonna have some breakfast,
Good,
lunch,
good.
and dinner.
Oh, yes.
Look, say hi to,
Yes,
to my phone. We're on TV.
yes.
We're gonna make a video and send it to people.
Right, good.
Okay.
Good,
Signing
hi.
off. Ready? Remember what we say when we sign off?
Yeah,
Life is awesome.
yes, light is awesome.
Life.
Light,
Life.
light,
No, life.
life,
No, life
life
is
is
awesome.
awesome.
Life
Life
is awesome.
awesome.
Life
is
is
awesome.
awesome. Now say goodbye to all of your fans.
Goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope I'll see you in the afternoon. If not, I'll see you the next day, and we'll be together and we'll talk. And whatever little bit we do will be fine. So I hope to see you then, and I'll see you soon. And all the best to me, and all the best to you and your family. Goodbye.